When we get to the portion and talk about the new website, can you hit that link and bring up the new website so they can see it?
Mm-hmm. I can share my screen.
Email.
Yep, I can share my screen. In fact, I'll go ahead here in a
It's
minute.
not live now. It's getting built.
Okay.
I think we're ready to go live now.
I'll go ahead and click the link here in a minute so I have it up.
Share my screen. Why would they?
Oh,
Yeah, I can share my screen.
well,
Is that your?
so when you go live on YouTube, it brings it up on a web browser, and my volume was on, so that was the 30-second delay of what was going to YouTube. Oops, I got to record over here.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, you're good to go whenever.
Okay.
I think everybody's on there for you.
Rick, Barb, Chuck. Yep. Okay, we'll call this Rules Committee meeting to order at 6:30 or close to it, isn't it? 6:32, I guess. Brian, are you on yet?
Yeah, Brian's on vacation, Mike.
Brian's on vacation. Terry's here in the office with me testing this out. So let's see if you can hear her.
Hamilton,
Yes, present.
Foreman,
Present.
Keller.
Present.
And let's see, we have the mayor, Terry, and Brian's on vacation.
Yep.
Okay, and police chief, see here yet?
Nope, not
No.
that.
Okay. I got about halfway through the minutes and then got called out this afternoon. Rick or Chuck, did you get through the minutes of the last meeting?
Yeah, I read them this afternoon. I move that we accept the minutes as emailed out.
Foreman seconds.
Okay. And
Okay.
guess I can go third on that then.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Keller,
Yes.
Foreman,
Yes.
Any visitors tonight, Mayor?
Mr. Little's here in the office with us, but I don't see anybody else online.
Okay. Does he have anything to say?
Nope.
Okay. Goals of 2021 cemetery project. Terry, do you have anything new on that?
I do. We have been working with our summer help to transfer all of the handwritten old deed books and putting them into computerized statement. Barb had started this project. She has a lot of it done. So this is just bringing together all of the documentation for the cemetery project. So we're moving right along on that. The other two goals, rules of council and pay plan. I don't have any update, but I would soon like to discuss the pay plan as we're getting towards the end of the year.
Okay.
So maybe next rules committee if we don't have anything.
But right now we got all the old paperwork, or you're working on all the old paperwork, and it'll be digitized.
They'll be
Yeah.
put into a Word and Excel documents.
Okay. And the pay plan, you want to do that now or you want to wait?
Now, we have other things on the agenda tonight. I would like to move that to our next meeting, since that will be August and we're getting towards the end of the year, and I think we need to review the pay plan. I can resend that out. I've sent the current one out, but I'll resend it out to everyone.
Okay.
All right.
annexation
Jeff
project.
and I had a conversation this week, and he agreed with the suggestion I think Mr. Foreman made at the last meeting, that we don't ask for money up front, that we just go ahead and create a document for them to sign as a commitment. So once this committee, if that's the way you want to go, then Jeff will draw up that document and we'll use it going forward. For everybody, anybody that wants to annex to the village, they will sign this commitment of annexation. So if you don't have any questions, I'm assuming that's the way you would like me to go, so Jeff can draw that up.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it should come as a motion.
Okay, so the mayor says it should come as a motion. So,
Foreman would like to make a motion that we adopt this process of creating a annexation agreement and having the person wanting to annex sign it. And then there would be penalties, or they'd have to reimburse us if they dropped out of the process.
Okay. I'll second that.
I got a little discussion on that, Terry.
Please,
You know,
go ahead.
and I don't have a problem with that,
okay,
but you know, they could give us a credit card number that we can hold. So in case they say, oh, I'm not gonna pay that after all, and you gotta take them to court and all that. But if you had a credit card number, on that application, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
I know legal, you can do that, but
I kind of like that idea because then it holds something. The problem is then we got to get our PCI compliance changed with the credit card processing, because we would be storing credit card numbers in-house.
oh, okay.
And that changes the security stuff to be PCI compliant to be able to run credit cards.
Yeah, because I know when I make a hotel reservation through the VFW, I have to give them a credit card number, and sometimes it's 6 months out, you know what I mean? And they hold that. So that was just my thought.
Yeah, it's not impossible, but we'd have to come up with a way to do that. And I remember from the early days, and when I do my yearly PCI compliance, if I write down a credit card number, then I have to have like a safe or a lock cabinet to put it in and know who has access to it and all of that stuff.
So it's kind of like paying in.
Yeah, it might be more pain than it's worth, since most of the people, once they sign the agreement, go through with the annexation.
Okay, that's okay with me. I'm worth it.
okay. Then we'll take the vote. Foreman,
Yes.
Hamilton,
Yes.
Keller.
Yes.
Okay, I'll get with Jeff and have him draw that up for your.
Any other old business?
Nope, I think we're ready for new.
Okay. A new federal holiday, the Juneteenth.
Correct. This is a federal holiday that Biden just enacted. Some of the towns and cities were able to go ahead and give their people the time off. It was short notice to all of us. But I would like to suggest that we put this in our employee manual, because our employees only get holidays off as appointed by council. So my suggestion is for this new holiday that we included in their time off, and that, I believe that the June 19th each year is the day.
Terry, how many holidays do they get now?
Okay, I'll have to look, Mr. Keller. I didn't collect that information.
Do you have the manual handy?
That's
Hold on, she's going to run and get the manual. Something else to consider for everyone while Terry's grabbing that is I've heard some places are considering making it a floating holiday. So you
What?
get, unless everybody took it off, the office would stay open on that day. But basically all employees would get one extra holiday that they could take anytime throughout the year as a floating holiday.
And that's what I was gonna get at too. If, instead of taking June 19th off, they might want to have the day before Christmas or day before Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving. I don't know
Yeah.
how the holidays is. I don't remember, but
But yeah, the floating holiday.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, they might like that better.
I like that idea too, because, you need
Terry's
a-
looking right now at the employee manual.
Hey, Mike, just to let you know, the chief's on now.
Pardon?
The chief's on now.
I see that gentleman sitting there.
Hello, guys.
Hi there, Chief.
Well, and since while Terry's looking that up, since everyone, well, I don't see Wade yet. So we're in the office testing, and so far things are going well.
Totally well.
Good.
These are the current employee paid holidays. This one may not have been updated because we just got one new one. But New Year's Day, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, Martin Luther King Day, Independence Day, Veterans Day, day after Thanksgiving, a personal day. And then I believe it was, not Columbus Day, but what is that?
The old Columbus Day.
The old Columbus Day, whatever they're calling it now. We just got that 2 years ago. So we have a total of 11 currently. So this would be 12.
Well, it's one personal day, so it's 10
Yes.
holidays and an
Yes.
additional personal days.
Thank you for the correction.
So what I was mentioning while you were out was some places are considering, instead of doing this in June, because there's paving projects and stuff in June for municipalities, is making it a floating holiday, so that staff gets the holiday off, but can take it whenever they want throughout the year. Yeah.
Did they like tag that on to an extra day for their vacation time or anything
Yep.
like that?
You could tack it on to vacation or another holiday. You can, subject to the approval and needs of the village and, it getting signed off on, but yes, you could tack it on to any of those other days off.
Well, I like that idea. God knows at times it seems like we work them to death and other times.
Well, this definitely has to be a motion to go before council because we'll have to have a ordinance.
Mhm.
So it's not an emergency. It can take, all 3 readings and time to discuss if we like.
Okay.
Mhm.
Rick or Chuck, you either one want to make that?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we take this to council, see how they want to deal with it. Either take it on June 19th, floating day, or add it to a holiday, whatever. Then are we talking about for 2022 or 2021 starting this?
I'm not opposed. The guys worked hard. I'm not opposed to saying we start it this year and make it a floating holiday this year, even if you guys decide next year to make it on, the holiday is the day off. But especially if it's a floating, they work hard. I would be in favor of making it active this year.
Okay, part of the motion would be, we'll take it to council for starting this year, but like I said, we'll just have to talk about it and then see how we want to go about it. But we'll make a motion to take it to council.
Foreman seconds.
It's the trimmer, the tree trimmer, or
discussion, I'll take a vote. Mr. Hamilton,
Yes.
Keller,
Yes.
Mr. Foreman,
Yes.
thank you. I have another piece of new business that just rose lately and did not make the agenda. And it's in regards to our pool. Over
Okay.
the last 2 or 3 weeks, there have been several cities that have started restricting visitors to their pools. Maybe Pickerington and
Groveport.
Groveport. I believe Millersport is what Lonnie told me today. But they're citing
Canal.
oh,
Sorry,
Canal.
Canal.
Now was sorry, but they're citing the lack of lifeguards, and also I had Lonnie do some look into, and what they are also citing is some of the issues they're having with people with day passes. So what those entities are doing is that they are saying, we have a cap on the number of people that can enter the pool in one day at one time, and they all have to have season passes, no day pays. So I talked to the pool staff about it. We are rapidly approaching that mark. The gentleman that did our lifeguard training has told Lonnie that Monday through Friday, we have 4 lifeguards that they can handle what he considers 250, knowing that a portion of those 250 people are watching, are sitting out, are not in the pool. On Saturdays, they will have 5 lifeguards, which means that number can go up to 275. But safety-wise, we can't go over those numbers. And the other thing that we have to take into consideration is that as we move towards August, we will lose 1 or 2 lifeguards just because they'll be going to college. We only have 12 this year. So I think we need to talk about what do we do when we get to 250? Scenario could be, all right, we're at 250, nobody else can come in until somebody leaves. Oh, by the way, if you're a season pass holder, then you're not gonna be able to come in because we already have 250 capacity. If we limit it to season passes only, then those that can't afford season passes or don't get them wouldn't be able to enjoy our pool. So it is a hard question to answer, but I think what we need to keep in mind is safety number 1. We can't have more people than our lifeguards can handle. And we have had a couple of issues at the pool that has prompted the chief and I to have a meeting. And now we have an officer that walks through the pool a couple of times during the day. So it's a whole lot to take in, I know tonight, but my fear is as it gets warmer and hotter, we're going to get more people at the pool.
What are our daily numbers?
Our daily numbers are usually, right now, they're around 150, 170 if the sun's shining. They have been up to as high, the real hot week, as 225, and one day we were at 250. So as it gets warmer, we will get more people. And now, especially since they are not, the other pools around us are not accepting day pays, we will probably get a lot of day pays.
Okay, how many passes, not passes, but membership we have?
Oh my, Chuck, that's the second question you asked tonight I wasn't prepared for.
It's because
Well, what I'm saying is if we only got 200,
It's
we
on
only
me.
have 200, why not let the first 50 come in too then?
Well, and that's very good, Chuck, because Brian is on vacation this week and I will have to go pull up those numbers, but that is a good way to look at it. Yes.
I mean, until something happens, I guess on one hand, if we hit that mark, it would be just like if you go to a restaurant or a bar or something and someone goes to walk in and you say we're at capacity.
Yeah, is a season pass a family pass or a person pass? So when you give us that number, is that the number of people or the number of
You can be
passes?
a single or you can be a family.
And the family allows up to, I believe, 6 people now.
6 people, yes.
So even though you may have 150, that could be 150 times 3.
Right.
Yes. So I would
So that-
we would have to individually count out all of those on all of the season passes. You are correct. I can do that. I can get that number for you if you think that's the number you need. My concern is what if, but while I'm gathering that number for you, what if I hit that 250 mark? Do we just turn them away whether they're a season pass holder or not?
I mean, I think we have to. We're at the limit. We're at capacity. Hang out for a
So it's
little bit.
determined by lifeguards or by pool size?
It's lifeguards.
Lifeguards mainly, Mr. Foreman, this year, just because of the lack of the number of lifeguards that are there.
Is there a process where if we made the members aware that we have that problem, that they could put one of their children in training to be a lifeguard? Or is there that ship sailed, there's no longer ability to add lifeguards?
That is a true statement. The ship has sailed. Because I was even going to have Annabelle trained that we would at least have somebody in case somebody called in sick. But the person that certifies no longer does certification. It's only for the first, May, and that's it. And then they're done.
So there's not like a YMCA or something we could send somebody to be certified?
Not that I know of. Each time you certify somebody, it's $200.
Okay.
And I'm looking at Lancaster's right now. The Miller pool off of 33, they are now closing it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And it's only open Monday, Wednesday, Friday from noon to 4, and Saturday 12 to 6, and Sunday 1 to 6
Right.
because of their staffing issues.
I mean, Dr. Johnson even pushed it out to the high school, and we could go down to, I believe, you could be 16 or 15. He pushed it out twice, and we only got 2 people. We had a couple return, and a couple was a brother to a sister who decided the whole family would do it. So I think we were lucky to get what we got. So I think it's something we need to, I didn't think it was going to be an issue, but now that all the larger pools are starting to do this, I believe that we're going to have issues. I would hope
And-
not, but I think it's coming.
Do we have some of the lifeguards that would be willing to be on call and come in if our numbers start to increase during the week? And we could treat them, I'm going to equate them to kind of like, sometimes in some hospitals, nurses on call will get a small portion of their pay just for being available. You get 10% of your pay or whatever it is to be on call, to get called in for overtime. So, they get.
Remember, according to our manual, summer help and seasonal help do not get overtime.
Well, but it's not overtime. They're just on call. And so you don't compensate them their full rate, but they get a little bit of compensation for being on call. And then if we need them, you're expected to be able to be there within an hour.
I'm open to anything because I don't want to make this decision. Either way, I think it's just not going to be pretty. I mean, I hate to close the pool down. We have so much money in it and it's such a nice facility this summer. I mean, I just hate to close it down, but later on in August, we may have to too.
Well, I mean, we're really only talking the next 3 or 4 weeks because it closes the second weekend of August anyway with the festival. Because school starts back August 11th.
We were keeping it open on weekends, but I guess we don't have to. But
Well-
weekends would be all right because then we would only focus on one day of the week for.
Weekends, I think we would be fine. It's during the week that's the issue when we've only got 4 to do an 8-hour, shift.
I'm open.
Why does it close during the festival? Just out of curiosity.
Pardon me?
Why does it close during the festival?
We have been open during the festival. We didn't have a festival last year, Mr.
Right.
Foreman.
But the mayor just said we closed during the festival.
No, the pool closes for the season. Will close for the season during the week on festival weekend. So the Friday that the festival starts will be the last Friday that the pool is open, because school starts that following week on the 11th. So then it'll switch to weekends only.
Okay.
They would like us to close the pool. they've asked that in the past, but
We,
Well,
but we have.
I guess,
We used to.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
used to.
But the season ticket holders did not think it was fair. And if you remember, not last year, but the year before, which had been 2019, I came to council to ask to keep the pool open.
yeah. Well, so
Not everybody goes to a festival.
our daily numbers
Mhm.
during the week, you said 150, 175. As it gets hot,
As
it gets
hot.
more.
Yes.
I mean, I hate to say, but I go back to if we hit that number, maybe that's just when the call gets made. Because maybe we never hit 250.
Next week looks like mid 80s and it's all sunshine.
Yeah.
Yep. And maybe mid 80s is warm, not the 90s that it was, but maybe we see what it's like. And if we have to have a special council meeting just to discuss the pool, we could do that.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, it's going to be busy.
What's the humidity look like on those days, Rick?
I don't see a humidity rating, but it's almost like if it was 95, you'd be better off because it'd be so hot you can't go to the pool. But
Right.
85, 84 degrees and all sunshine, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that thing's going to be packed.
Have we got
Maybe-
that posted anywhere over there that says that 250 is the max capacity at this time?
Well,
Yeah.
it's based on the number of lifeguards on duty at the time.
Right.
So if there was a fifth lifeguard on duty, it's 25 people per lifeguard
Not
or
quite.
50.
About 25. 'Cause
Yeah,
Once you get more, he said, even if you have another person, there is so many kids in the pool, it's hard to watch them.
yeah, it's one of those declining things
Yes.
that one lifeguard can watch so many people and two, but as the numbers go up, you need more quicker.
Yeah.
So maybe we see where we're at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, and then if we have to, we can have a special meeting to discuss if we hit that. And if by chance they just hit it, then they just have to make the call that they can't let anybody else in because we've reached occupancy.
Do you think it would help or keep tempers down a little bit, Mayor, if we posted it over there? So that they know it?
No, I think it would actually cause a whirlwind frenzy of complaints if we post that.
Okay.
Can I add in just real quickly the humidity next week? So I did find a site. It looks like humidity is going to be running in high 60s to high 70%. So it's looking like Monday, humidity 77%, Tuesday, 66%.
So warm,
Nighttime, the humidity is going to run about 80%. So humidity is going to get up there.
I'm kind of like, I'm kind of like the mayor. I think we should just keep going and see what happens, because I do see, school buses go back there and we cut them off, we say, well, okay, we might have to cut back on the dailies. We might be cutting off our foot, you know what I mean? I think we should just kind of wait and see.
And I guess I also wait and see, but if they approach, 200 in there, I guess it has to kind of be a judgment call. If they approach 200 and they know there's a bus coming, then you don't let anybody else in. Or if we approach 200, maybe at that point we say season passes only until some people leave. I think it's hard to come. I know you want to rule, but it's hard to come up with something
Yeah, I know.
on an evolving situation that may or may not occur.
True.
Okay.
And the more and more pools that shut down though around us, the more people are going to come here locally because we don't have any type of guidelines yet. So it's going to be tricky.
Okay. I will monitor and keep you abreast. I have one more thing about the pool that I wanted to bring up. I've been approached by several people to open up the pool after hours for adult swim only. So it would be like from the time the pool closes until, I'm not sure, 9 o'clock, couple hours a night, or maybe a couple hours, a couple of days a week and not every day. So I just wanted to see if you're okay with that. If you would like to do, say, maybe start out with a couple days a week, it's just adult swim, no children, or if you want to do it every night. I mean, Lonnie and Austin are open as long as we can find somebody to, work those hours.
Do you need a lifeguard?
Yes, anytime
Yes.
you have anybody in the pool, you have.
Well, I rode my bike back through there last night, between 7 and 9 when it was open. I didn't see any lifeguards sitting in the chairs, but I'm not saying they didn't have lifeguards.
What was 7 to 9 last night?
Well, someone was using it because kids was out there swimming in it, little kids and, adults.
It may have been the swim team. And
Well,
there
these
was-
are little kids. I mean, I'm talking maybe,
The swim team goes down kind of small. I think Joey's little girl is in it. And how old is she?
okay.
She's only 5.
Okay, I was going to say 5 years. Okay, so they don't have to have lifeguards in.
We supply them 2 lifeguards and then they do the rest of it.
So,
Okay.
but the lifeguards were probably sitting off at the side because it's the
Yes.
swim club and lessons and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Okay.
They do
Because I kept on riding my bike back. I thought, is somebody using that pool and shouldn't be or what? Okay.
Yeah, I used to guard swim team. You really don't sit in the chair. You just kind of sit on the bench. It's kind of.
I never did this, so I don't know. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Mr. Lifeguard. We'll give you a t-shirt.
I don't know if my certification's any good anymore, but I would do it. It would be fun.
So what do you think about the adult swim proposal?
I think it's good. I think the more utilization we get out of that pool, the better.
I like
I
the
don't-
idea.
I mean, are they members or are they going to pay daily, or how's that work money wise? Is it going to raise more revenue?
That would be a separate rate. Like if you're an adult only and you want to swim, you pay this much to go in to swim. So
Right.
it's a 2-hour cost we'd have to figure out.
Well, I guess my question becomes though,
What?
if I'm a member, but I've paid a membership.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe
It's
membership-
beyond the scope of availability. So
It would expand it.
I think that we could charge for that. I think they'd still do it.
Yeah, I would too, because you got to charge extra for the lifeguards too.
Yeah.
So I would say you got to charge, a couple bucks. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we try it just do it for a couple of nights during the week? We'll have to work around swim team. Just see how it goes over.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Let Lonnie figure it out. If
I
they've been
will.
if they've been approached, he'll know who to ask.
Yeah.
What nights do you want to try to make this work?
Yeah, it's frustrating to see that pool empty on a 90-degree evening or something like that. It's like, hey, it's there. It's been provided for. If somebody wants to pay to use it, we should open it up.
Right. I agree. Okay, we'll work on that. And Mr. Hamilton,
Yes.
I overlooked 2 things that we discussed in our last meeting. One was the written agreement with the township. Mr. Foreman asked for a copy of the written agreement. There is not a written agreement. It has just been a handshake agreement. And the other thing was the grass ordinance, and the mayor asked me to look to other villages or cities for grass ordinances, and they didn't have anything more than what I talked about with the litter and stuff. So I think it's just an educational thing, and once we get this new website up, maybe that's where we do it. But those were the other 2 old items that we did discuss. Township agreement and grass along the curb.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's the handshake deal is what Rob Alt seems to not want to have. He doesn't want to pass the handshake deal on to the next people. He wants us to put it in writing and have a written agreement that this is what we do and this is what they do. And that way we don't have a meltdown like we did the day the tree fell down. He just wants it, who's responsible for what, so that when a storm comes through and tree falls down, whose problem is it? Who's going to take care of it? So there's just an incident that happened that he just wants to have it worked out in advance.
So how do we want to approach this? Do you want me to bring something back to rules and I can have somebody dictate to me what the
The-
gentleman agreement as they see it was? And then we can see it in black and white to see if we want to adopt it?
Well, why don't we just talk with Tim and the guys, what they're doing and what their understanding is
Okay.
that
what
they
I'm-
do.
That's where I'm going with this.
And
And then
then,
I can take that and discuss it with the trustees and see if they agree with that. And,
Well, I'd like to be a part of that also, Mr. Foreman.
oh,
That-
okay. Yeah. So yeah, Rob Alt seems to be the one that most wants it in writing. The other two seem indifferent. So I would say that if you're going to reach out to someone to like turn it into writing, Rob Alt seems to be the one that wants to have a written agreement.
Okay, so what I can do is get the information down and then bring it back for the village to review. And once the village reviews it and they feel comfortable, then we can send it on to the townships.
Okay.
Sound like a
Good to
plan?
me.
Sounds like a plan.
And Terry, you do have the deed to that cemetery, right?
No,
Nobody has a deed yet?
the deed to the cemetery on Market
I
Street?
know. Yeah, I mean, we shouldn't have a deed because we don't own it, but do they have a deed to showing the boundary of that cemetery?
No, Mr. Keller, the only thing that I can see is on the auditor's website. Are
which,
you pulling that up?
no,
Oh.
but we could find the recorded deed somewhere,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
that's going to be an old one that may or may not be online in Fairfield County yet.
Okay.
All right, I'll get that too, Mr. Keller. So when a deed's recorded, don't they put it on the auditor's page?
That's where the auditors gets it, but if you want the actual legal description, you
Oh,
gotta
I
pull
see
the
what you're
deed from the
saying.
recorder's
Okay, all
office.
right.
We
Yeah,
got
I-
any of these cemeteries in town?
Do what?
I'm sorry?
Do we have a deed to any of these cemeteries in town? I'm having a hard time talking. I got a bunch of teeth pulled.
Well, Mr. Hamilton, we are registered with the state of Ohio for Basel, Maple Grove, and then the church cemetery over there. So yes, it's out there somewhere if you'd like to see it, but we are registered with the state for those 3 cemeteries.
Okay. I was just wondering, since Chuck brought that up.
No problem. Where do we want to go with the grass? That's the only thing that's open.
Is that rules or safety though?
Oh, you know what? I think we talked about it in both. So we can bring it up in safety.
I'm only saying that because in 8 minutes, I've got to flip the thing over
Yes.
for the public
Yeah,
hearing.
No, I'm good. We'll take it to safety. That's coming up sooner than the next rules
We can
meeting.
put that on the website maybe too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have, Mr. Hamilton.
Okay. Anyone else have anything else?
No,
A motion for adjournment then.
I move we adjourn.
Wow.
Foreman seconds.
Was that Mr. Keller that made the motion?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to pause the recording and the streaming, and don't forget at 7:15. At 7:15, we'll start the public